Hey guys, Comics here, and today I will be covering Uzumaki by Junji into chapter 11. Now, this chapter follows directly after the events in chapter 10, which is kind of unusual for the series because before it would have more standalone stories centered around the town and our girl Kyrie. But this one actually follows up with the most horrific and my mortal enemy, the mosquito pregnant woman with their blood sucking babies. Now let's see what my mortal enemies are gonna do besides sucking up all your life force, and let's swirl into how these babies are gonna turn out after their blood sucking moms. Let's get into it. Following the previous events, poor Kyrie is trying to tell everyone what she saw the night before, but for some reason no one seems to believe her and thinks she's going crazy. Oh, society, never fail to fail me. Again, this town seems to never find these events odd or at least suspicious. It's almost like they've normalized all of it. Do you really think a boy turning into a snail is really normal? No. Because of the mass murders, police have been roaming around the hospital more and therefore the murders have stopped. For now. Remember Kirie's cousin Kieko? You know, the one that tried to kill her? Well, she decided to be more merciful and drink from blood bags instead of her own cousin. So that's nice. Our girl is keeping her distance though. She doesn't trust her. Kyrie witnesses her cousin giving birth from afar and thinks how this baby will turn out from dieting on blood. She goes to the baby center and checks up on it, commenting how it's the sweetest baby she has ever seen. I don't know about sweet, but this baby is ready. This baby looks like they got a full face of makeup on. Let's go. Everyone at the hospital fawns over the baby, but I don't trust any baby that smiles like that. That's kind of sus. The day Kyrie is finally going to be released, she says goodbye to her cousin but notices that the baby and all the babies from the blood-sucking mothers all have bulging bellies. Right as she mentioned it out loud, the baby side-eyes her and all the babies start screaming, making her fucking fall down the stairs. Oh my god, girl is not having a good time. Now she has to stay at the hospital for another week to recover for whatever reason. It's not like she broke anything, but okay, I guess the screams are piercing her brain. Kyrie notices that the food has a bunch of mushrooms that taste a little too meaty and avoids it. Ooh, but it's a hit with everyone else at the hospital though. Mushrooms. Just as she walks around the hospital, she overhears all the babies talking to each other about how they want to go back into their mother's room. Cause man, fending for yourself in the outside life sucks. I mean, they're not exactly wrong, but they actually have a plan and mention how the doctor is going to help them go back. Wait, what do you mean go back? All of a sudden, one of their bellies freaking bursts into a spiral-topped mushrooms. Wait. Mushrooms. That's kind of gross. Kyrie runs trying to pretend that she didn't see or hear the babies talking like normal, like she hasn't seen anything odd before. She walks away until a scream catches her attention, recognizing that it's her cousin's voice. She barges into the room to find it filled with the same mushrooms from the baby's belly, growing every square inch of the room. The doctor slowly comes out from the surgery room to then ramble on about how babies use cuteness as a weapon to get what they want and how these babies refuse to grow up, only wanting to go back to the womb. Oh, okay, well, no one asked. He then explains that these mushrooms are actually the umbilical cords that grew back every time it was cut. He picks up an umbilical shroom up and says how it makes sense to consume the umbilical cord as it stems from life and proceeds to take a bite. I love me some umbilical shrooms. Kyrie asks what happened with Kieko and the doctor says how the operation is successful in basically doing a reverse C-section. Oh my god, this is so much true body horror. With the baby back in Kieko, she is back in her old ways and starts craving for some blood to feed the baby. The doctor wrangles Kyrie, and as her cousin comes closer, her nasty ass mosquito tongue rolls out and bam! Oh, I guess she was craving some doctor's blood instead, giving Kyrie a chance to crawl out. Just as how I feel after getting bit by hundreds of mosquitoes in one moment, the doctor has his life sucked out of him completely. Then these two oblivious ass people just come in the room thinking it's like some mushroom gardening room in the hospital. That doesn't make freaking sense, but okay. They'll get all excited and try to eat all the Mbuli shrooms like this is a normal place to go eat shrooms off the floor. Okay. They start munching on the Mbuli shrooms, and then she starts munching. Kyrie finally got some sense into her and just escaped the hospital, never to look back. Now, why is this story centered around babies that want to go back into their mother's wombs? And how does that even relate to the spiral theme? Well, Junji focuses on the theme of the spiral of life, or as you may know, cycle of life. But kind of makes sense that it's more of a spiral than a cycle, because the cycle kind of means that you keep going through the same thing. But if you keep going to the same thing, but in new generation, it kind of spirals, right? I don't know. Anyways, there's the thing such as spiral of life, which is basically what you know as cycle of life. Like nature, we are born and we live and we die, and as we die, bacteria such as fungi feed off on our decaying bodies to give back to Earth as nutrients, and it all happens again. But in this world, the babies were fed blood, born, produces Mbuli shrooms, others eat the shrooms, and baby goes back into their mother, and mother eats the people that ate the shrooms. A nice, twisted Junji fashion of the cycle of life. Now, why Mbuli shrooms? Well, as an organ, it does play a huge part as it has a lot of nutrition and gets rid of waste for the fetuses in mother's wombs. And in case you didn't know, some people really do believe in consuming the umbilical cord and the placenta as a way to gain more youth or youthfulness, which is kind of gross, but I guess I don't know if it works. Like the doctor said in the chapter, he said that it just makes sense to heal the sick with this umbilical cord because this is where life stemmed from, which makes sense in a way, but I don't know. I think it's just you get a lot of nutrients, but I don't think it'll heal you. Junji is merging the idea of vitality and decaying into one blurry line by using babies to symbolize vitality and mushroom imagery as a sign of decay. The shroom-like umbilical cord coming out of the baby's belly basically sum up in one image the cycle or spiral of life, and that there is no true ending nor beginning as the line between life and death are blurred. When we decay, is that when life really starts, or when we are born, is that when we start to decay? Do you agree? Do you not agree? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe and like. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye! Sweet dreams!